Welcome to SolPods Studio. We're not your average social network. We're a community of professionals, enthusiasts, and students taking sustainability to the next level. Join us on our journey and get inspired by Earth heroes just like you. Hi everyone, I'm Lucy, a member of the SolPods team, and I'm joining you from sunny Los Angeles. I'm sitting here with co-founders Amy Farrell, who's in Northern California, and Cassie Friesen, who's joining us from Nashville, as well as our advisor, Amy Sabik, who's also in the Bay Area. I'm excited to introduce you to the three wonderful women I get to work with and to chat more about what we do here at SolPods. I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in with Amy Farrell. If you could please tell us a little bit more about the history of SolPods and how it came about.
Thanks, Lucy. Well, it was really a personal experience that inspired me to create the concept for SolPods. Several years ago, I really wanted to find more purpose in my career and pivot from a job in traditional financial services to working in sustainability in some capacity. I had many years of experience and I had worked all around the world, and I knew that I could bring these skills to helping to make the world a better place, but I wasn't sure how or what. But I wanted to figure out how I could bridge my experience with my passion. And yet at the same time, I needed to make money. So I started networking. I connected with people who worked in various jobs in either corporate responsibility, philanthropy, responsible investing, and really explored all the different topics. There's actually so many different areas of sustainability. And I found that I needed to learn more about these different aspects. So I attended workshops and I went to conferences. I took a few classes online, and it took me some time, but I was eventually able to make a switch to a job in sustainable finance. And then after my career pivot, I had a lot of people coming up to me to ask me, okay, how did you do that? I want to work in some capacity where I feel like I'm giving back and I'm more connected with my job. I'm more passionate about what I'm doing all day long. And so from mid-career professionals who wanted to work full-time in sustainability to students who wanted to figure out what classes they should take or what they should major in to work in the green economy after graduating, these people all approached me and asked me, if I had any advice. And by the way, there were even people who wanted to figure out a sustainability side hustle, or if there were kind of micro purpose activities like volunteering in their communities on the weekends. And really the conversations would expand to what are your interests and how can you tie what you're passionate about with regard to the planet, the environment, animals, people, climate change. How can you tie those interests into a career? And I realized that I was having these one-on-one conversations and that there had to be a better way for people interested in all of these topics to come together and to network and to share. I mean, many of us use the large professional networking platforms, and they serve a good purpose for networking more broadly. But I thought there's got to be a way to create a community that's hyper-focused on sustainability, that also would give you an opportunity to learn from one another and to support one another. And so as this concept was coming together, Amy Sabik and Cassie and Lucy and I realized that we could create a community that would go beyond networking, that would actually provide recommendations for courses that you could take or workshops, for events, community events, local events, for different ideas on how you could volunteer your time. I mean, even organic restaurants and cafes and gardening ideas. I mean, there are so many different recommendations we felt that we could give to this community and that this community to give to one another. We also wanted to create a space where we could meet people where they were on their sustainability journey, whether they were just getting started and interested, or if they had worked in sustainability for a really long time, and were interested in sharing their ideas. And we wanted to make it global because we knew that amazing things were happening in different corners of the world. So that's the history of how SolPods came to be. And actually I should explain the name as well. So Sol is short for solutions, because ultimately our community is working toward positive solutions. And pods, because we found that our members were passionate about different sustainability topics. And we wanted them to be able to come together in smaller groups so they could share and they could take action on specific topics. For example, we have people who are really interested in clean technology, others who are very passionate about food waste, and then some eco fashion or regenerative farming, and so many more. So we built, designed and built this platform for the sustainability community. And our goals for our members are really straightforward. We want to connect, educate, and then ultimately collaborate for a more sustainable world. And I couldn't think of a better team to build the sustainability community and to inspire others to join us. So I'm really excited about everything that SolPods has to offer.
Thank you so much, Amy. So in the intro, we mentioned this phrase, Earth Heroes. And since you coined the phrase for our platform, Cassie, can you tell us a little bit more about what that means?
Absolutely, Lucy. The whole idea behind Earth Heroes are individuals who are making positive strides for our world and in the society. Since developing the concept of SolPods a few years ago, we have come to discover there are amazing people out there doing totally inspiring things across the globe. We've had the pleasure to engage with zero waste ambassadors, mindful delivery business owners, inspired students, animal advocates, and even organic farmers, meditation practitioners, and fair trade experts. And you really might ask, what do they all have in common? And we truly believe the common thread is their deep sense of responsibility for the future of our planet. One reason I felt so strongly about starting SolPods with the team here was the fact that small steps really can lead to big change. And our Earth Heroes aren't perfect. No one is. But they're out there making a real difference, one good deed at a time. And I believe that if we can share their ambitions, goals, and triumphs, we can inspire others in the process. Even mistakes we've made and what we've learned from them and how this has made us more resilient are really important to share. So now it's about spreading their message and educating people on how important it is to transition to a sustainable world. So whether you're brand new to sustainability or an experienced professional, you too can become an Earth Hero. And we truly cannot wait to share more stories from our community members as we build out this series and as we build out our community.
Thank you so much, Cassie. So clearly SolPods is a really great place to connect and inspire. And I was hoping, Amy Sabick, you could tell us a little bit more about what this platform offers to others as far as community goes. And how would you describe the community we've built here?
Thanks, Lucy. That's a great question. Well, we've been connecting our SolPod members on various sustainability topics such as zero waste living, recycling, ecotourism, clean tech, and many more. And within each of these areas, our community is sharing ideas about how we can make small changes, create new habits that result in a more sustainable lifestyle. I meet regularly with a local moms group, and we were talking about how there really is no single resource where you can get educated on the basics of sustainability and then all the way up to actually taking action, both within your community and globally. So we often share ideas of products we discover or daily eco hacks, as well as how to engage with local community-supported agriculture and farmers markets. We also share resources versus each of us feeling the need to buy something that we only use occasionally. So if I need something for the weekend, that's just going to be something I use from time to time, I will reach out to one of my fellow moms and borrow something from them. And now at SolPods, we've created a place for you to find your sustainability tribe. You can find tangible solutions not only for your local moms group, but you can also bring sustainability to your kids' schools. We even have resources to help your city bring sustainable activities and ideas at a much broader level. And we're super excited that we are starting to bring green clubs from universities onto our platform as well. So our community really sets us apart as we have people there who truly, truly care and are there for a reason. They are there so they can collaborate and share ideas. We really realized in creating SolPods that there is so much power in the collective, and this is what SolPods can bring to create positive change and allow people to connect at a much deeper level in these communities.
I totally agree, Amy. For me personally, after graduating from college, I really wanted to find a job that aligned with my passion for the planet. And I do feel so lucky to have found that in SolPods. And I want everyone else to be able to find a place where their passions and skills can intersect, but also where they can feel this true sense of community support. I've learned so much about sustainability that I didn't know before, such as the importance of local legislation, biodiversity, circularity, clean beauty and health, mental health services, and sustainable development goals, and so, so much more. And what's really cool is now part of my job at SolPods is searching for other sustainable careers around the world and sharing them with our members through our job board. It really feels like a full circle moment for me.
And Lucy, since you have been so instrumental in really helping to build out the platform and getting our community off the ground when it comes to content creation and inspiration, how does SolPods actually transpire into tangible action?
That's a great question, Cassie. So I think while we're a global digital community, we still want to help people connect with other Earth heroes living right in your neighborhood. So that's why we created the Helping Hands, which are city-specific pods that help you get connected through volunteer opportunities in your city, knowledge sharing, supporting local businesses, local events, things like thrift stores, farmers markets, exchanges. And we're growing every day, so we do hope to create more Helping Hand pods as our community grows. We really try to pay attention to the needs of our community and adapt as those needs shift. And one of my favorite parts of my job as far as content creation goes is updating our pods with original content weekly. So in our community challenge pod, I create weekly challenges such as eco hacks and tips and tricks to really help you incorporate sustainability into your life, such as compost tips if you're new to composting, or thrifting hacks, things like that. On Wednesdays, as I mentioned before, I post the job board. So it's updated weekly, connecting members to potential future employers and jobs they might be interested in the sustainability field. But we also like to provide resources such as support for tech workers or women in science. It really changes every week. And on Fridays, I like to share a post on our Good News Movement page, which is a weekly roundup of inspiring stories around the world to kind of end your week on a positive note. And the platform is also really set up to allow our members to also share, so they can share eco tips, whether that's their favorite eco detergent or their composting hacks or gardening hacks, things like that.
I also wanted to add, Lucy, that SolPods is available both on desktop and mobile app. The mobile app allows our members to share in real time. So if they're at a volunteer event or attending a sustainability conference or just working in their garden, on the app, they can go live and share what they're doing with the rest of the community. We also have location services, so you can find other SolPod members near you. So let's say, for example, you travel to another city for work or for pleasure, and you want recommendations for local organic or farm-to-table restaurants or cafes, or zero waste stores, or you want to learn about sustainability events or sustainability issues that are relevant to that community, you can check in with SolPod members who live there. And as you mentioned, Lucy, we're really building out our city-specific Helping Hands. And as that grows, it will enable even more local sharing.
That is so exciting, Amy. I also wanted to ask you, where do you think SolPods is headed in the future?
I think it's really about providing our members with more content and giving them the ability to share their expertise and their experiences. As Cassie said earlier, we're really excited about expanding the podcast series SolPod Studio and highlighting more of our Earth heroes. We love sharing our members' accomplishments, and the podcast is a great way to get their stories out there. Also, we're building out these workshops. As I mentioned earlier, our members have amazing experiences and sustainability expertise, and we want to give them a platform so that they can hold workshops, live or pre-recorded, even offer courses. And we're setting it up so that they can charge for these courses and workshops if they so choose. In addition, we're expanding our own proprietary SolPods sustainability masterclasses, and we want to include more workshops and courses to help people bring sustainability into the workplace. Our goal is to bring ideas and inspiration to the community. So we're going to continue to listen to our members and find out what they want to learn about and how we can support them on their sustainability journey.
Thank you, Amy. I know we're all really excited to grow with SolPods and see where it takes us. And it's really been so wonderful chatting with you three about our shared passion. Before we go, I do want to end this episode by asking you all our favorite question. What would be your sustainability superpower?
That is a great question, Lucy. So if I had a sustainability superpower, I would wave my magic empathy wand, and I would essentially increase how much empathy there is in the world. So not everyone feels the impact of climate change in the same way. And so if everyone could put themselves in others' shoes and see how other cultures and countries may be far more adversely affected, I think we would really see a heightened response to what actions people can take to really start reducing more and more their carbon footprint.
So, Lucy, for my sustainability superpower, I would create a giant methane capturing machine that would suck up all of the methane emissions in the atmosphere, put it into boxes, and store it away until we can figure out more effective ways of reducing methane emissions. That would be my superpower.
Lucy, I think it's an awesome question. Thank you so much. And I have a very soft spot for all of the plants and animal species on our earth. So I would totally sprinkle magic dust, but make it organic. Dust fertilizer to restore our Earth's biodiversity. So we would regrow all of our forests, restore our ocean health, revert back to our natural ecosystems that were here thousands of years ago. And that way we could redesign our cities and our communities to live in harmony with nature.
Well, thank you all for your amazing answers. Those are all super original. I love them. Personally, I think I would say some sort of magic spell to automatically integrate sustainability education into everyone's curriculum globally. So it's a part of everyone's awareness and reality from a really early age. So we can encourage those healthy habits and passion for the planet right from the get-go. And I would love to hear from our listeners. What would your superpower be? So please let us know in the comments or in the reviews wherever you're listening. And that concludes our SolPod Studio conversation. Thank you all so much for being here today, and thank you all for listening. SolPod Studio is made possible by listeners like you. Join the free SolPods platform to become a part of our virtual community of changemakers. Links to our social media, website, and platform can be found below in the show notes. If you enjoyed the show, feel free to rate and review our podcast. Thank you for listening and for your support.